I think a significant number of them aren't comfortable working with President Trump. He's been a bit of a turbulent presence on the Washington scene. They all knew that they were headed for a difficult election. Presidents almost always have big setbacks in the House in their first midterm election. And this president, if you take his own unpopularity and you add on those historical trends, it was not looking good. And therefore, you've got a whole much larger playing field than you would have otherwise had. You know, before we got to this year, there were some people saying Democrats wouldn't have hopes of taking the House until after the next redistricting. Looks pretty promising for them right now.
Bottom line me here, David, and comment on what John just said. You've got 41 members of the House stepping away. Why? GOP members of the House. And bottom line me here, how many seats do you suspect the Democrats could pick up here?
Our current forecast is a Democratic gain of between 30 and 40 seats. We think anything from 20 to 50 is well within the realm of possibility, but 30 to 40 is the most likely outcome. And there are really three drivers of that. The first is suburban college-educated women. Women with college degrees give Trump a 27% approval rating in the most recent poll compared to a much higher 60% among men without college degrees. But women with college degrees are the ones who vote. Then we have this red exodus of 41 Republican seats with no incumbent on the ballot, and Democrats have reasonable shots at picking up to 15 of those seats. If they even get 12, then they'll be halfway to the 23 they need for the majority. And finally, they're raising staggering sums of money. And even though Republicans have narrowed the enthusiasm gap Democrats enjoyed earlier this year, Democrats are really outspending Republican incumbents in most of the tight races that will determine House control.
And John is nodding here. Go ahead.
Well, I was talking with a Republican strategist earlier today who was becoming markedly more pessimistic just over the last 48 hours or so. And I said, why? And he said, it's that money kicking in. We hadn't anticipated that. It's beginning to affect the races. So just as David said, I also want to just summarize, some of us have been around long enough to have covered the 1994 Republican sweep. That was supposed to be the year of the angry white male. This year, David Wasserman months ago coined the phrase, this is going to be the year of the angry white college-educated woman. He has proven prescient in that prediction.
But, David, I have to say, though, not to take anything away from what is likely to happen with the House tomorrow, but 5 out of the last 6 federal elections have flipped one of the members in power, whether it's the presidency, the Senate, or the House. How much, if that happens, if the Democrats take the House, is it this so-called blue wave versus history simply suggesting that Americans don't like to keep one party in power for way too long?
Yeah, we go back and forth between these surge elections for the party out of power and then a check and balance election. I think independents are the biggest concern right now for Republican pollsters. This is, in my opinion, really the year of the fired up female college graduate, but it's also a year when independents are voting in large numbers for Democrats because they want to temper the impact of President Trump. And I was talking with a Republican member of Congress recently about his reelection chances, and I asked him how he was doing in his district. He said 40% of the voters in my district absolutely hate the president, want to impeach him. 40% of the voters in my district love Trump and and will never leave him. And 20% are what I would describe as normal people. Well, those 20% are breaking towards Democrats, at least in a lot of these outer suburban seats.